Hello everybody, this is Gary Hallican here, and this is going to be a classic toy review. Today we're looking at Machine Man and his Machine Dolphin from the Godaikin series. And for anybody who doesn't know, the Godaikin series was Bandai's attempt to bring some of the big, high metal content toy robots from Japan here to the United States. Unfortunately, they ended up not selling very well for a number of different reasons. They were expensive, for one, with the much cheaper Transformers coming out around the same time. And also, most of the TV shows that these characters and robots were from were not on US TV, so kids didn't really know what they were looking at. But despite that, the Godaikin series toys are really awesome toys, and we're going to look at one right now. The Machine Dolphin here is actually from the final series of Godaikin toys from 1985 to 86, and it's one of the smaller ones they made. In that last series, they started sending smaller toys as part of that series. But there's still a lot of cool things to look at. It's from the TV show Machine Man, which features the superhero type character Machine Man, that's him right here, who pilots his car, the Machine Dolphin. And of course it is a transforming car, and we will look at all those transformations in just a moment. But before that, let's look at Machine Man himself. So here's our hero, Machine Man, and as you can tell, my Machine Man has definitely seen some better days. I've had this figure for just about as long as I can remember, so he's definitely seen some play time. As a result of that, a lot of the paint is coming off, especially the paint on his head and the chrome paint that was on his forearms and lower legs. Also, he would have had a sticker right on the chest with his logo. My figure has never had that sticker ever since I got it. Also, I saw the first episode of the TV show once, and I seem to remember that Machine Man in the show has a clear plastic cape. I don't think the figure ever came with that. I don't think it was ever designed to. But the figure did come with, I think, 2 chrome weapons, which I unfortunately do not have. As for construction, Machine Man is made almost completely of metal. His chest and upper legs are all die-cast metal, with his head, arms, and lower legs being plastic. So it makes him a nice, hefty figure. For articulation, Machine Man's head can tilt up about that far. That's mostly for when he is piloting the Machine Dolphin, because he will pilot the car in sort of a lying down position like that. So his head tilts up so that he can kind of be looking forward and keeping his eye on the road. Also his arms, they go all the way around at the shoulder. They go up about 90 degrees at the elbow. And then you have articulation at his knees, but this is completely useless articulation. He can't stand on one foot, and he can't really kneel down or anything like that. So you're never going to use the knee articulation. But he's a very cool looking figure. When I was a little kid, I had no idea what he was. I thought he was a VR trooper of some kind because that show was on TV at the time I can remember playing with this figure. It wasn't until many years later that I found out that he wasn't any sort of VR trooper, but was actually Machine Man, the pilot of the Machine Dolphin, which we will look at next. So here's the Machine Dolphin in its car mode, and it's looking like a pretty cool futuristic car there. It's got a really nice clear blue windshield. It's got some really cool mechanical details underneath the clear blue on the back section there. It's got silver for the engines. It's got these good stickers that say Machine Dolphin there and Machine Man up there on the spoiler. So overall, looking like a really neat futuristic car. Unfortunately, there isn't very much metal content on the Machine Dolphin, mostly just this center section here and some of the interior parts, but it does have rubber tires, which roll really nicely. So overall, a pretty cool car. Now, it does have other modes, of course, that it can transform into, but before we get to those, I want to go ahead and get Machine Man in the cockpit piloting his vehicle. Because something that's really cool with this is that he can stay in there throughout all of the transformations. You never have to take him out in order to go from one mode to the other. So let's go ahead and get him ready. So for Machine Man, we'll just tilt his head back, flip up his arms like this. And if we turn the car over, you can see there's kind of this hollow area on the bottom. That's where he's going to go. We'll start by sliding his legs in like that. Slide him all the way down. Going to bend his arms so that they will fit up into this cavity in there, and then clip him in at the waist. Make sure his head's tilted up so that he can be kind of watching the road a little bit as he's driving along. So now we've got Machine Man in there piloting the Machine Dolphin. Doesn't look like he's really in the safest of positions. I think if he runs over any rocks or anything, it's really going to scrape him up. But that's okay because he's going to switch into the next mode where he isn't going to have to worry about that. And that's going to be the jet mode. So let's go ahead and get transformed. To start off, we'll flip up the spoiler and pull down the back wheels. They're very, very tight on my specimen here, so you've got to be careful with that. But they're going to become the main wings for the jet mode. Then we're going to flip over the engine block sections to reveal a couple other small wing tips there. Turn it around and we can flip down the landing gear. You can see these little wheels right there. What's kind of neat about this landing gear is that these screw holes on the back are sort of designed so that they look a little bit like thrusters. So that's kind of cool. It adds to the jet look of it. And you'll see there's a lot of really nice detail in here where we folded out the wings. If we come back to the front, we're going to fold down the front wheels and tuck them back in. And then we're going to pull out the nose cone and finally unfold some landing gear from there. So there we have the Machine Dolphin in its jet mode. And it's a really cool jet mode, and I will tilt the camera down a little bit so you can see the whole thing. So there we go. So now Machine Man, even though he's not really looking straight forward, he should be able to see pretty well now that he's flying through the air. Of course, this can roll back and forth on its landing gear. And what I think is really neat about the jet mode is you can't really tell that it was a car before this. Of course, if you turn it over, you can see the back wheels there. But other than that, there isn't really much indication that it was a car first that became a jet. So I really like the transformation on this. So here's the cool thing with this is that it has a third mode that actually never appeared in the show. So in the show, it only went from car to jet and back again. But there's actually going to be sort of a powered armor mode that the toy can do. And I suppose the reasoning behind that was probably something to the effect that almost all of the other toys in the Godaikin series had a robot mode, so maybe the Machine Dolphins should too. And it does, and so we're going to see how that looks here. So to achieve the powered suit mode for Machine Man, we're going to fold the wings back up, but leave the spoilers out because they're going to form basically kind of the heels of the robot here. Fold that up. Then we're going to turn it over this way, and we're going to take these bottom sections and pull them down to make legs. And once we do that, you'll see they reveal the hands here. Let me move the camera back up a little bit so you can see this a little bit better. So we're going to reveal the robot hands when we pull down the leg sections. Like that. Okay, so there we've got the legs. Then we'll go up here to the shoulders, and these just pull out like that, and then we can tilt them forward, and we'll go and put the nose cone back down, and there we have it. So there is Machine Man's powered armor. Again, a mode that was only available in the toy. It never appeared on the show, but it's still a pretty cool kind of not quite robot mode, but more of a powered armor mode, and is a pretty neat addition and a neat thing to have a third mode that really works organically with the rest of the toy. And much like the jet mode, you can't really tell that this was a car very much, other than that you can kind of see the back wheels there on the bottom. As for articulation in this mode, the only thing it has is moving the arms. They can just move around like that, but otherwise it can't move at all. So those are all three modes for the Machine Dolphin. Next, we're going to look at some size comparisons. So for size comparisons, here is the Machine Dolphin with G1 Optimus Prime. So he's quite a bit taller than that. Here he is with a standard 12-ounce beverage can, so about twice as tall as one of those. And, of course, here he is with John Cena. So really, he's not too much taller than John Cena, so I don't know if even in his powered armor, if he would want to get into a fight with him. Next, I'm going to put it back into car mode, and we'll do these size comparisons again. So now back in car mode, here is the Machine Dolphin again with G1 Optimus Prime, now in truck mode, of course. So you see they're definitely not in any kind of scale or anything. Here is, again, the standard 12-ounce beverage can. It's not 12 inches tall. It's a standard 12-ounce beverage can. And again, here is John Cena. So, in conclusion, the Machine Dolphin with Machine Man is a really, really cool toy. It's one of the smaller Godaikins with a small amount of metal content, but it's also one of the cheaper ones, so it can be had a lot easier than some of the bigger ones with more metal content. And you are getting a really, really cool triple changing vehicle with a nice hefty pilot. So it's a very, very neat toy. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look at a classic toy. If you feel so inclined to do so, please like and subscribe. And we're going to finish up this review with some dramatic poses.